Oh, homies, what a good day to run off the script. To really run it wild, let's just say. Because I came in, I told you guys the other day, this was just going to be another little recovery, whatever, do some squats, and then do the warm-ups on the Olympic list, whatever. Let me tell you something. I've had a week. So let's just say that. You guys have seen the philosophical points we've been hitting. It's been a week, Anytime I get into topics like that, it's normally when I'm really thinking about a lot, going through some things that I just got to sit down and talk about and really thoroughly think through. Now, rarely is there a day that I react very emotionally, That initial reaction is always going to be a bit irrational. That's just kind of part of being human. Your brain is going to immediately want to get upset, but then you bring it back, calm down, and recollect yourself through your logic brain, right? Did not happen for the first half of the workout today. I'm not going to get into it. It's personal business that don't need to be talked about, but it's not often that someone crosses a line that incites true anger in me, and I mean like furiosity, not to dramatize it, but I'm going to be fucking dramatic. It was bad. It was not cool, and it's unfortunately one of those things where you kind of just watch it happen and there's not much else you can do. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I regret not doing something or whatever. I'm going to do something. It's not going to be right now, because in that initial irrational moment, that was not the time to make a scene. Let me tell you what, I'm glad that I'm going to sleep on it and come at it with a very sound state of mind. But when you get like that, it's so important that you express yourself to others. I don't care how personal it is or how supposedly secretive it can appear, but no secret is big enough or important enough to where it should drag down your mental state because you don't want to discomfort other people or you don't want to tackle it head on, whatever. The reason has to be, you got to talk to someone, and I didn't really get to do that until I got to the gym. And let me tell you, with a mixture of pure unadulterated anger and some pre-workout, I was on some shit. Let's just say that. I was a little special for that first half of the workout. While it is fun to an extent to lift that way, because there's no thoughts of doubt or any, discerning ideologies in your brain. You're just lifting to kill it, which is awesome. But the thing you got to really remember is that when it gets heavy, and there's not that little bit of logic that you need to make sure that you lock in the technique hard enough to maintain yourself and compose yourself and really stick through the lift, that's when it becomes an issue. Because lifting without an idea in your head, an initial desire out of what you want from the lift, is where bad habits are formed. You rip it too hard, you go too fast, you catch it weird, but you don't feel it because you're just all adrenaline. It's stuff like that I don't want to do. I was leaning forward very hard on my initial warm-ups, and that's okay as long as it's balanced, but that's not how I typically lift. I typically lift very upright and catch it with a vertical chest, and that's what my standard's supposed to be. So no matter how pissed off I get, it shouldn't be an excuse to lack in the areas that I truly care about in my personal life, because they're what keep me passionate, and my passions shouldn't be a source of anger. It should be an outlet for that. So I got my shit out. I talked to the homies, as you should always do, and got to really think about it through some unbiased ears, and it's extremely helpful. Whatever's got you in a whole fit, you tell someone that's not involved and they'll shoot it with you straight. And half of it's going to be humbling and half of it's going to be reassuring, because some of it's going to be things that you don't want to hear. And that's just part of being emotionally mature, having your shit together and not letting loose onto people when you feel like it. You got to sleep on it, take it home, think about it, and come back when you've got your shit together. That's all it is. And when you see, because today I switched it up. Because I got in with the idea of doing just like warm-up snatch, clean jerk, heavy front squat, cool. Ended there. We'll get back to the Olympic lifts when I come back after my rest day tomorrow. When I tell you that I allowed that that anger, that fire to fuel me. I let it dictate whatever the hell it wanted to. And that's good and bad, you know. It's good to use it in a positive way. So the gym is definitely one of those. But again, it's not exactly going to help my lifting to the highest extent, you know. And when I got to 2 plates, because I decided that rather than that initial workout I was planning on doing, we're just going to send it. We are going to do a comfortable heavy snatch and a comfortable heavy clean and jerk, even though I typically never even train them on the same day anyway. I've just been doing that recently for recovery's sake. Just to really, partly for the ego, but again, another huge part of it was to just get that confidence back, you know, get that assuredness that I had it in me to get back on the normal program the way I want to. And that was a very good way of looking at it. You know, it did allow me to put some limiters on myself so I didn't overdo it in the moment and allow it to fully take control of what I was trying to do. So I did cap myself at 225 on snatch and 275 on clean and jerk, because those are the last warm-ups I'll do before it gets to actually heavy. And you'll see it on snatch. I actually failed 225 twice before landing it perfectly, might I add, on the third one. But those initial reps, those were fueled by something. Let me tell you what, it was not logic. That's for fucking sure. It was a whole lot of pissed off tomfuckery. That's what it was. Now I'm going to swear so much. I try to not on these videos so much because that's more of a coping mechanism, but that's what it is. You know, I'm in the moment, I'm expressing, cool, whatever. But I brought it back. At those 2 failures, I typically only miss 1, and then I bring it back right away. It's not often I fail twice. And that really got to me in that moment. I was like, damn, I've let myself go in this prime opportunity to steal my resolve and, you know, secure my mental fortitude over these harsh days that I've been going through. So I didn't just jump back on a 3rd rep like sometimes I would attempt to in the past. I was like, didn't happen. You know, obviously it did. I'm going to take accountability for that, but I'm resetting. The mental has reset. The purpose is renewed. We're going to hit it. And what do you know, that next rep? Perfection. So it's really good to feel, especially with the more narrow grip I've been trying out. It's really nice to be able to feel that. The catch was very solid, instantaneous. The moment I hit astergrass, my elbows locked out, and that's what you want to feel, because then there's no wiggle room in between the catch and the squat that allows you to come up wobbly or leaning back or pushing forward. You know, just perfectly balanced, as every lift should be. The clean and jerks felt incredible as well. I think the more narrow grip on my snatch has actually increased my grip strength, because it's now utilizing a little bit more arm and shoulder strength on the initial first and second pull until doing that maximum effort through the 3rd pull. And it's honestly really nice to feel, because now I don't have to worry so much about depending on my low back when I'm doing my clean and jerks, because it should be pretty heavily oriented into your arms and back in that first part of the lift, and then building up to utilizing more of your body as you warm through it. And let me tell you, I yapped way too fucking much. I was having a great day, and it just got to a point where I was taking too many big breaks. So 255 and 275 aren't perfect by any means. But damn it, I did good. I did the best I could, and I'm proud of that. Because the jerk was really slow on 275 when you get to it, but it was consistent, damn it. The lockout and the feet placement were exactly where I'd want to see them. And that is what I love to see and experience and feel, because it gets me wanting to come back in and throw the heaviest shit I can. You know, and doing that new weight that I haven't touched in like a month, on top of continuing the shoulder rehab, rotator cuff exercises, I feel anew. You know, we're blossoming. But again, the biggest thing is just I brought it back, and you know, physically, easily, gotta give it a 9.15, just because it's not fully confident yet. This is the first time really actually attempting the heavy stuff while my shoulder is fully recovered. So I'm pretty, you know, I'm a bit loose. You know, I'm not as compact as I'd like to be. I'm not as peaked So it felt great, but I'm still not at a strength level, core-wise and technique-wise, where I want to be just yet for the normal progressive overload. But it's there. It's incredibly, incredibly strong. And because of the isolation of my power lifts with squats and bench, my core's actually never been so strong. So the catches are beautiful now. And that used to be my biggest issue. Like, leaning forward on the catch on the cleans was so bad because my core strength was so weak. And just being able to focus on the front squats alone for a little bit was really good experience. But mentally, now that we brought it back, after everything, because it's got to be the accumulation of it all, I'll give it a 9.3, just barely above, because it was a great day and I did get to fully express myself therapeutically. I got through it very well and very healthily, very positively, in the way that was sound and just efficient toward what I needed to feel, in that moment, rather than just exploding on people that didn't need to hear it in the moment, or exploding on, even if it's the right person that needs to hear it. If you're not going to be sound of mind, then you're going to sound just as nuts as they've been doing, So I'm very proud of how I brought it back and eventually composed myself. And you'd think that, like, oh, well, was it like all the talking? Was it the, shooting the shit, getting to do the heavy lifts and having fun? Like, what was it? It really wasn't even all that. And I haven't even talked to the person yet. I haven't resolved my situation. But the thing that really brought me back today, that really reminded me of my own internal appreciation for this life and what I do, and disregarding it seems big in the moment, but it's really insignificant bullshit, because it's not something that should be affecting my personal life. It's something that I should just disconnect from, make it known how I feel, and move on and be happy, And what really brought it back, and I cannot get specific due to HIPAA laws in the hospital. You guys know I work in the psych unit, but I ran into a certain someone that I've known in the past, associated with mental health, and it was incredible to see them brand new. It's been so long since I've interacted with said person that I hadn't thought of them so long. And you see them in a certain state, especially when it comes to, like, people, when you move away from your hometown or the place that you've been living for a couple of years, the people you once knew change, and they're going to do it without you, whether you like it or not. So the people you grew up with, whatever, when you see them again, even if they were assholes in high school, people change. People renew themselves and they do better. And the absolute positivity radiating off of this person was exactly what I aspire to do and be for my own gym homies, the ones that I truly care about in my life. So it really screwed my head back on and showed me that, no, I don't need to get overly zealous and mad about all the random bullshit going on. I just express it once, think about it productively with a good purpose and desire after the rant, and just lift some fucking heavy weights and love life. I went up to them and I just said, we don't need to talk. You don't gotta say anything, but I want you to know that I am extremely proud of you and the recovery that I see through you, because that's impressive, and not many people can do that. And they appreciated that a lot, and it was very, very significant on the way it affected me. So that's kind of it. I'm going to be back day after tomorrow, so let me know how the lives and lifts been going. I know I'm cutting it a little quick, but I got to go. But we'll be back on the normal program. Going to fuck around, find out. And then it's going to be more like the technique-based stuff, but I'm so excited to get back into it. It's just when you run into those people you once thought you knew, and they've just completely restored themselves to a new level that you didn't even recognize them. That's what the fuck I love to see. That's what I aspire to do. I don't want anyone who I grew up with to recognize me. I do so well in life, That's about it. But I love you guys. Let me know how y'all's lifts and lives have been going. Love hearing about it. And I'll be back. Bye.